You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Schmidt's underway. Couple of somersaults to start. Smooth. Gets that momentum up. He works his way towards the right of the mat. Struggling and he's off. He's off, Dylan Schmidt. He's unable to complete his routine, and that's disappointment for the New Zealander.
Just absolutely gutting watching Dylan Schmidt fall from the tramp, ending his hopes of a medal. It was still pretty raw when I spoke to Dylan Schmidt shortly after that to find out how he was feeling about what had played out.
Yeah, look, it's, I guess, getting there. It's a tough one to swallow. Campaign was great. Lead up was great. Training's been really, really good. Body's feeling good. Put everything into training and worked really hard and didn't come off, which is obviously heartbreaking. It's a tough one to pinpoint what actually went wrong in the final. Obviously fell off onto the floor, which never helps. But it's just one of those days. It just wasn't my day. Credit to the other boys deserving of the podium. Incredible athletes, and wish I could have been up there or at least pushing them. But it just wasn't my day.
Was it something that happened quickly, or was it over a couple of moves previous? Have you been able to process how it happened?
I think the first skill was really strong. Second skill potentially drifted a little bit. Pushed really hard into the third, and I was pretty close after that. And then I never stop. I always go from anywhere, and that's probably why I fell on the floor. Just because I wasn't going to give up and I wasn't going to stop. I was going to keep going until I wasn't on the trampoline. It sucks. You just want to take it back and have another go. I was feeling really good, to be honest. So it's hard to pinpoint what went wrong, but sometimes these things just happen.
And in qualifying, you look good. Well, to my untrained eye, in qualifying, did you feel pretty good during qualifying for the final?
Yeah, I felt all right. It still didn't feel probably how I wanted to feel, but I did what I needed to do to get into the final, and put a pretty solid routine. Knew I could have done better, but enough to get through, and I was just really hoping to lay it out and put it out there in the final. It just sucks because I know I can do more, and I know I can do bigger scores, and it's never how you want to end your Olympic campaign, is it?
No. You'll probably go through a few emotions, I guess. Are you able to feel any pride at making another Olympic final, or will that probably have to wait?
No, I'm proud of myself. Proud of the work I put in. Proud of how I handled everything leading up to this. Coach is back home. She had to go, so that threw a bit of a spanner in the works. But I really think I dealt with it well, and it's not nowhere near the reason why everything's went wrong. But it sucks that she can't be here. I guess to celebrate. I guess all the work we put in, regardless of the result. So I'm incredibly proud of myself. There's not much more to it really.
That's Dylan Schmidt, who I spoke to a couple of hours ago after his fall in the trampoline final. You can just tell at the end there how emotional he was about it. He was, spoke to him a week ago in the lead-in to the trampoline final, and he seemed confident, and he was very together and just at peace with what he was going to do. And I watched him in qualifying, and he was really good. I thought, man, he's going to deliver here. He's going to get close to another podium. And then watching him just fall like that, it was just gutting. I was just so gutted for the guy, just awful. And as he was walking away, I thought to myself exactly what he said. He must just wish he could turn back time and have another crack at it. Unfortunately, not to be. Our other trampoline athlete at these games is Maddie Davidson. Now, she finished 7th in the women's trampoline final. She qualified for the final with a best score of 54.740 across her two routines, and then produced a score of 54.230 in the final. I spoke also to Madeline Davidson shortly after she had competed, and I guess it was a bit of a contrast. I suggested that she'd be pretty happy with making it to an Olympic final.
Oh, honestly, I'm so stoked. I knew it was going to be a push to make the finals. There's a really talented group of girls out there, and we knew we were going to have to hustle. And then when I kind of saw that I had made that top 8, I was pretty stoked, pretty happy.
Tell us about your 2 routines in qualifying, in particular the one that got you into the final.
I think one of our main focuses has been my height. So that's always a bit nerve-wracking when you know you've got to really push as hard as you can. And that was just what I was really concentrated on today, trying to have nice rhythm, trying to jump as high as I can. And I actually PB'd in my height in every single routine. So can't complain with that. I'm pretty stoked. And yeah, I just, felt like I was really connected in with the trampoline today. I just need to get a little bit closer to the cross.
Yeah. Is that the horizontal displacement? Is that the metric that they talk about when you get close to the cross?
Yes, yeah. And as I've been jumping a bit higher, I've been going a little bit haywire from that cross. But, those things happen. That's all right.
How did you feel coming into the Olympic Games? Did you feel confident?
Oh, to be honest, I had a pretty rocky road coming into the Games. I was carrying a bit of an injury. We had a lot of logistical things kind of go wrong. But, I think that's kind of one of the pressing things that you got to then zero in and focus. And I felt as ready as I could have been on the day. And I was just pretty stoked that all the work my coach and I had done was coming together on the floor. What
was the injury that you carried in or that you had to manage as you headed towards Paris?
I got a compressed L5 vertebrae, which is not the most comfortable, as you probably think, when you're jumping on a trampoline. But it's just one of the things we had to manage through and push past just to get to the Games. And I had a really great support team around me that was helping me do that.
A compressed vertebrae. That sounds painful when you're doing nothing, let alone jumping on a trampoline, man. How challenging was it to continue to train and to prepare with that?
It's pretty tough. I think it's hard when your body and your brain is telling you to stop because you're in pain. But like I said, I have an amazing support team. We have great physios. I have an amazing sports psych that helped me deal with it because we knew we didn't have long to go and we did everything we could to kind of make me as comfortable as possible. And I think it was a real chance of showing a bit of resilience and pushing through those tough times.
Outstanding. And what about the logistical challenges you faced? What, did you not get the right travel plans or something?
Oh, I just think it was just one of those things, there's never smooth entry. I haven't heard anybody have a smooth entry into the Olympics, so it's just one of those things. Probably since January we've been having a couple of hiccups, so. But, it's just one of those things, like I said, we're resilient athletes, hopefully, and, we battle through and push through.
Outstanding. So what are we thinking here, Madeline? Is 2028 now on your radar now that you've made a final? Are you keen on another Olympic cycle?
Absolutely. I think as soon as you finish, you're like, man, I just want to go again. So definitely, and it was always in my plan, definitely going for 2028. I'll have a bit of a holiday first and have a little bit of a relax, and then we'll get back into it again when we get home.
Well, congratulations. I love the big smile at the end from you, having made the final and performed so well. Everybody back here, very proud, Madeline. Thanks for taking the time for a chat.
No, thank you so much.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.